I don't think our thing went all the way through, did it?
Huh?
Did our thing play all the way through?
I don't think so. Because I was like, wait a minute, why are we on here already? What'd you do, babe? You pressed something.
I didn't do anything.
You pressed the button. What up, Primo?
Did anybody see me pressing it?
You pressed the button,
I
babe.
pressed nothing.
That wouldn't have happened if you didn't press it.
That's not true. That's just an assumption you've been making over the years, you know what I'm saying? April Nixon mix is required for the show. What does that mean?
He wants me to freestyle.
Oh, Mike.
Oh,
Mike.
I thought he wanted me to
Yeah. That's true. No, he did not want you to freestyle. You know what I'm saying?
So he told me he got bars, so we'll see. We'll see about that.
So what did we say about that? Wasn't he supposed to
He was
record?
supposed to send, yes, he was supposed to record.
You're supposed to send us. Oh. He said we have to send him the beat and then he'll send us.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sending the beat. I
That's
forgot
what's
about
supposed to
that.
be.
I am
And we all
sending
know
him a
there's
beat.
no way Primo's doing that. What's up, Chimes?
What up, y'all?
We are excited about tonight, man. Let me tell you something.
Oh,
First of
stop the
all,
music. I was about to get down.
yeah, well, you had your chance to dance already. So here's the thing. You guys know we love our show. We love having you guys on. We love the Chimes. The Chimes are here tonight, and we hope you're excited. You're here on Instagram. You are on Facebook. You are on YouTube. And we're excited to have you. You can tell us where you're coming from, where you're watching from, all that kind of stuff. Just, say something in the comments, and you will immediately become a Chime. The only person chiming in right now is Primo, which, of course, we all know because he's part of the show. But what I was going to say is, a couple of weeks ago, we had a really, really, really good show with Dr. Q.
We did, and we were talking about men's sexual health.
Yes,
and it was so good.
We learned a lot.
We got a lot of people to reach out afterwards.
We did.
Actually,
during the
my
show,
phone
we were
was
getting hit
blowing
up.
up.
Yeah,
My
they
phone
were
was
texting
blowing
us
up
a
like,
lot.
what?
Especially,
oh my goodness.
especially for that
I
supplement.
got to get the supplement,
Right.
So if you don't have the Natural E Man supplement,
Which this show is brought to you by
Yes,
the way. You know what I'm
yes.
saying? You need to get that.
you need to
joint.
get that supplement. Chimes 10.
Yeah, you used our code Chimes10 and you're going to get 10% off at naturaleman.com. NATURAL, the letter E, MAN.com.
Yes.
You should do that. I don't know if you've seen
really
it. Like this is Dr. Q right here with his Naturally Man supplement in his hand. You know what I'm saying? This is him. If you want to know what he looks like and what you're looking for online, you know what I'm saying?
Listen,
we had him on there.
I
and it was
have
dope.
been taking this. I know it says Naturally Man. However, okay.
If you saw our latest reel, then you know what's going on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know what's happening in our household right now.
That's right. And so we're doing a weight training program called Dig Deeper.
Yes.
Sean T.
It's really good.
You may not like Sean T because he be working folk.
Right.
However,
Right.
Dig Deeper is the bomb.
We've been doing it for 6 weeks. This is
Okay.
our 7th week right now, and I feel more energized,
I'm
stronger.
going to show pictures of my results, but I will not show them until my second go round.
Here's the real question.
Well, it depends. It depends
are
on
you
if the
gonna
first
be-
go round looks
Are you
actually
going?
looks.
Are you going to show your first shots?
I am
You
going
said
to
the
show-
results, but
I am going to show before and after.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to show. I'm going to do that. I ain't no shame in my game. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah. And all that work, you
that's
going
true.
to see.
You're gonna see what I did. Ruth Taylor says I'm here. Please put my name in the chat. Yes, Ruth.
You are a chime.
Glad you are here
You are a
tonight.
chime,
We're
Ruth.
excited about you. And
Yes.
so the Naturally Man supplement is a great thing to use. We've been enjoying it. It's been helping us with
my
our
point
workouts.
was,
It's also been
yes.
helping us at night, in the bedroom.
Why it's got to be nighttime?
That's true. Sometimes it's not at night. You're right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Christina says, yeah, for Naturally Man.
Listen, Naturally Man, seriously, I know that it says man. I know that. But honestly, I have had so much energy. Have I not been lifting weight? I mean, people think
doing
that
way
women
more in
can't.
your workouts.
People think this is a myth. We're going to do our myth and truth, by the way.
Right. I'm
Okay,
excited
but
about that.
this is a myth that women cannot lift heavy weights.
Right.
That is a lie.
Right.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
we can, and we do not. We will not get. You will not be Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I'm saying?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
You would not be Arnold Schwarzenegger as
you think you're saying the N-words?
Arnetta
Right?
Schwarzenegger. You will not be. Okay. You will not be. Yes, Dig Deeper is amazing.
Yeah, it
Have you
is.
done it, Christia? I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's good. But my main reason
So-
why I like the supplement is because of what happens after the workout. It's good for
I
the. You know what I'm
can't. I
saying?
can't get into specifics with
Hey,
that.
hey, Tony said pH
All
balance
I'm
for a man,
saying.
but strong enough for a woman. Remember that?
Right. I can't get into the specifics because that is not appropriate. But
Primo says you're only
however,
curling 5-pound dumbbells.
you know what? You know what, Primo? You know, you get on my nerves. You always got to be talking junk. When you get here, when you get to DC, it's over.
Oh, man.
It's over. Anyway, welcome. I know you
So
guys
glad
are
you're here,
ready.
guys.
I am ready for the show. I'm so excited about our guest tonight.
By the way, ask Dr. Q talking about hallelujah. He talking about what happens after the workout. You know what I'm saying? He knows.
Yes.
Okay, okay. The reason why we're doing tonight's show is because we believe that there is another side to this conversation. We talked about men's sexual health, and there is another side of the conversation, women's sexual health. And there are a lot of things that I think, I would say, okay, let me ask you this question before we bring the guest on.
Okay,
because we have a guest tonight, and I'm excited about her.
Oh, I like surprise questions.
Another doctor, and she knows the things about the female sexual health. Okay, here's my question to you.
Yes.
Do you think that men are more clueless about men's health,
Oh, I thought you were going to say
or
what I said
are
earlier.
women more clueless about women's health?
Oh, if the
Which
people
one?
knew what I thought you were going to say.
No, I wasn't going to say
Okay.
that. Are men more clueless about men's health, or
Mm.
are women more clueless about women's health? And women's sexual health. And
Okay.
men's sexual health.
Oh, sexual health?
Yes, specifically that.
Wow. I mean,
Because I think the stereotype is that women are always more knowledgeable about that kind of stuff than men are.
I think
but.
men are more clueless to women's sexual health than women are to women's sexual health.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay. I mean, I'll agree with that.
Yes.
I think that's true.
But honestly, I do think it's pretty close.
You think it's pretty
I
equal?
think the only reason why women have an extra little bump up is because we like to read about our stuff. And I
Okay,
do think
okay.
that we do like to know.
Yes.
Like we will look for it. Men do not look for it. You know, we'll go and we'll Google something. Now, are you Googling correct information? Sometimes
not.
you're not. And so
But you're at least attempting to try to
I
find
think
out
so.
about
I think we
women's
want
sexual
to.
health,
Now,
where men don't do that.
specifically because we're going to be specifically talking about women's sexual health.
Yes.
But specifically menopause.
Yes.
As far as menopause is concerned, I would say that we do not know as much as we should.
So
That's what I think.
Okay, so in general, you would say that women are knowledgeable about their health, but in terms of things like specifically menopause, you think.
I think that comes later, like when you about to have it, or when you feeling stuff and you're like, hold up, what is this? Then you
Okay.
start looking up stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, like, only reason why I'm even saying I'm saying now, this new word. I'm even saying the word menopause.
Yes.
Is because I keep getting jokes like, oh, you about to, and I'm like, no,
Because
I'm not.
you're saying that there's a certain person in our household who thinks that you're basically starting menopause already.
So this is the question: why do I respond that way?
Why do you
that's
respond? What
why am
way?
I responding like, no, I'm not. Nuh-uh.
Why are you getting mad?
Why am I not
about
saying,
the
yes,
possibility?
I am.
Right.
This is a beautiful thing. And that's what we need to talk to our guest about, because maybe I should not be responding that way. So
I want to shout
need
out.
to find
I want to
that
shout
out.
out Reality Sisters was on here. Says so glad y'all are tackling this topic. Glad you're here.
Yes, glad
tonight.
you're here. We're excited about
Yes,
this.
we are.
Because men and women need to know about this.
I agree, and I
think
and
women
I have a couple
need to
questions.
know about men's sexual health and health.
Yes.
And men need to know about women, because we together.
And I have a couple questions
gotta know.
tonight.
We gonna be together.
I have a couple questions tonight for our doc tonight to ask her specifically what advice she would give to husbands who are trying to navigate what's happening to their wives.
Yes.
Hello?
I think that's very important.
Okay. All right. So let me introduce our guest then for the night. Our guest tonight is Dr. LaKeischa McMillan. And yes, we are excited about her. She's from Huntsville, Alabama. Of course, everybody knows April and I went to Oakwood college, which is in Huntsville,
you.
which she also
I'm
went to and
sorry.
graduated from.
OC. It
Yeah,
was OC.
it wasn't
Okay.
OU back then. That's true.
Okay.
So it's funny because remember we talked about Dr. Q last week and the fact that he
Week before
does
last.
surgery. Yes, true. Week before last. Thank you. The fact that he does surgeries with the Da Vinci robot and stuff like that. It just so happens that our doc tonight, Dr. McMillan, is also certified in the use of the Da Vinci robot. You know what I'm saying? It's a minimally
Wow.
invasive laparoscopic surgery type
That is
situation.
amazing.
So anyway, she has a best-selling book that's called The Other PMS. And one of the first questions I'm going to ask her is how she got this moniker. She is known as the Menopause Whisperer.
Menopause Whisperer.
So tonight we have the Menopause
Love
Whisperer on
that.
the show. If you don't know anything about
Yes.
it and you want to know, I want to just say welcome to Dr. LaKeisha McMillan. Can we just call you Dr. LaKeisha tonight?
Woo.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dr. LaKeisha,
Oh,
it
no, why I
No,
can't.
is.
it's right here. There we
Oh,
go.
sorry. I muted you. Say it again.
I said
Oh, there we
absolutely.
go.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay.
Dr. LaKeisha,
Yes.
it
Now,
is.
our audience heard you just now. We just couldn't hear you on our thing because April muted it earlier. That was April's, by the way. That was her fault. She'd be pressing buttons
I'll
sometimes.
be pressing buttons without permission.
Hey, Doc, how you
Okay.
doing?
I am awesome. I am great. I am so excited to be here. First of all, I have to say I'm a fan. So I am so honored to be here and be here with the Chime Nation. Thank you for allowing me to be here. I am going to be talking about a topic that I just absolutely love. So y'all are going to have to give me the cue to it's time, 20-second timeout, the cut. It's time to go. The
Listen,
Sandman.
we say this
sweeping off
our
the
show. We
stage.
can
We go as long as we want.
we
You know what I'm
want.
saying?
So folk don't have to stay. But we're gonna have a good
Okay.
time, okay? We're gonna have a good time talking.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
and
we're
I
ex-
am such a fan of Dr. Q too. So when we were watching last week, and I was like, there's Dr. Q, and I was just like, oh yes, I love that we're having the other half of this conversation this
So
week.
are we.
Yes.
So now let me just say that it's funny because I don't think most of us as men especially really think about the other side of the conversation being what it is that we're going to be talking about tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So can you just start by just telling me how did you get that moniker, the Menopause Whisperer?
Yes, definitely want to know that. I love that.
It's interesting that one Saturday night I'm sitting, my husband and I were doing, watching TV or whatever, and my phone starts dinging. It's like ding ding, the messages start going off, and I get this message, ma'am, excuse me, do you need to tell us something? What's going on? I'm like, what? And I get a screenshot of me sitting talking to a patient, and it's on the Love and Marriage DC, where I have been a featured menopause expert.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, so they did air that segment. I filmed the segment about a year ago and
Wow.
forgot about it, have been able to be on other platforms across the nation and internationally. And so, yeah, it seems as though you can start at this little snapshot in time and say, I'm Dr. LaKeisha. I'm your international and celebrity menopause whisperer. I help validate women's symptoms, help them crack their hormone code, and give them solutions to their symptoms.
That's
But it
really
didn't
awesome.
always start like that.
Wow.
So can we be transparent at the with the chimes?
Yes.
But that's all
That's
we
what
do
it's all
actually.
about.
Okay. So I often look back and say, if you were to look at my highlight reel, the ESPN highlight reel, it looks as if I'm checking off all the boxes. Like I said, I was raised in Huntsville, Alabama. For those that don't know, I am from Huntsville. I went to Oakwood Elementary, Oakwood Academy, Oakwood College, got accepted to Loma Linda early in my junior year.
Oh, did you?
Wow.
Yes, my first job was at Washington Adventist Hospital.
No way.
So, I mean, it's just like check, check, check. But there are some times in our lives that hit us in our gut, right? And life had a 1-2 punch for me. And it was April 2nd, 2009. when my husband had to show up at my job at the hospital to tell me my father had passed away that morning.
Wow.
My family is a very tight-knit family. I mean, I was blessed to come from a two-parent household. I have a younger brother who actually looks like my older brother because he stands 6'4" over me and pats me on the head. And my grandparents, my mother's parents, were actually living with my parents at the time. So very tight-knit. So this catastrophic incident literally ripped the rug from underneath us.
Wow.
And then 10 short months later, my grandmother passes away. I remember standing at her graveside at Oakwood Memorial Gardens, looking 2 plots over, and the grass hadn't even grown over my dad's grave yet. And I was just like, Lord, what is going on? And I remember coming back to Maryland, doing all the things rote, just going to work, answering my pager, sitting on labor and delivery. I was exhausted. My body was starting to change. I was just like, what is going on now? I believe in Jesus, but I also believe in therapy. Amen.
Yes.
As do
And
we.
so I went and sat on my therapist's couch and we started peeling back these layers of grief and complex grief. And it was through this process, one of these nights, I'm sitting on labor and delivery, and my blood pressure is 160 over 110.
Whoa.
And the nurses were like, do you need to go to the ER? Like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not. And I just remember whispering, Lord, I need an exit strategy.
Wow.
And so I started taking a step back and going, okay, where are you leading me? And it was to come home. Our youngest had just turned a year old. And I was becoming a cordial roommate with my husband.
Uh-oh.
And y'all, he's
not
cute. I like him. And I was like, this is not normal.
Yeah.
And so going through this process, taking a sabbatical, I took a sabbatical and I said, let me go home. 2 months into my sabbatical, I called my office manager and she finished the sentence for me. She said, I know you're not coming back.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
And this is when I started my journey. I started diving into what was going on with my own body. I started really putting more on the foundation that Loma Linda had already built, because the motto at Loma Linda is to make man whole. So I already would approach my patients with a holistic approach. If a woman had come in and said, hey, my cycle's a little off, a little wonky for the last 3 months, I'd say, okay, what happened in your life 3 months ago? And they would look at me and go, what does that have to do with anything? I said, that has everything to do with everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
It's
I
all
only had
connected.
15 minutes to talk to a patient.
Right.
So as I'm diving deep and getting more information, I got my own labs checked because I was like, something's not right.
Right.
Yeah.
I had no measurable testosterone.
Wow.
What?
I remember calling my husband going, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because I know what's wrong with me and I know how to fix this. Like, this is something that we can work with. And he was like, okay, all right. So that started my journey to this moment where I took a step back 12 years ago.
Wow.
Went out on a big leap of faith, have a wonderful support system.
That's great.
And have been able to walk this journey and now truly understand and have more tools in my toolkit to help women with this phase of life. Because we get the talk. April, I heard you. I think it's more of, we get the talk of your body's about to change. You're going to start your period. You're going to have breasts that come or whatever. But we don't have the talk 2.0. So women don't really know about this time of life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't understand what's happening to them. And to be fair, medicine is really trying to catch up too.
Oh,
because there are terms in our lexicon that are just now surfacing, like perimenopause.
right.
Right. I don't even know what that is.
We want to
Actually.
ask you about that, so don't tell us yet. You know what I'm saying? We want to know.
Yes. Yes.
So this is how I've
This is
gotten
good.
to this road, and I
That's
feel
awesome.
it is my mission.
Yes.
It is the hill that I stand on and yell from now,
Hmm.
because I'm in the fight with y'all. Confessions of a perimenopausal doctor. Okay,
I love it.
so that's where
Well,
we
let's start with our
Wow.
myth or truth game then, because there's a lot of
are. Okay,
myths around, I think, this menopause
Yes.
thing, and we want to
yeah.
know
This is good.
some
This
different
is
stuff
good.
that's out here. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
didn't want you
have
to
to tell
stop
us.
just now.
We're gonna get more. We're gonna get more.
Yes.
But we want to
Absolutely.
know whether or not this thing is myth or truth based
Okay.
on whatever it is that you know as a doctor. And April's
Gotcha.
gonna ask you.
As the menopause whisperer.
As the menopause whisperer.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry.
That's
my
another
bad,
level,
my
honey.
bad.
That's
Exactly.
another level. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Number 1, myth or truth? Menopause makes you forgetful.
Truth.
Oh.
Mm.
Is it like
True.
amnesia type forgetful, or is it like, you know what I'm saying? What's the level of forgetfulness?
So it can span from, I know I came in this room for something. Like, what was I coming in here for? To, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. You know what I. Or somebody literally, I see the words and I just can't put them together like I used to.
Ooh, hun.
Do I have early onset dementia? What is going on with me?
I've asked myself that question multiple times.
So yes, that is true. That is true.
So
Interesting.
okay, I'm gonna ask you later on what some of the things are that make that happen, because I don't understand why that would be a thing. But anyway, all right, April, number 2.
Yes. Okay. Number 2. Menopause can last up to 7 daggone years. Please say that's a myth.
Okay, so I need everybody to put their seatbelts on.
Oh, Lord.
Women will spend a third of their lives in menopause.
A third?
Excuse me?
Yes.
Doc,
and
we
let
didn't
me
bring you on here to lie.
explain
Come on now, what you doing?
Please tell me that's not
third?
true.
This is where my teaching comes in. Because I stopped using the word postmenopausal. Because women felt that they went through something and they were on the other side and their bodies were going to go back to something they were used to. Your body has totally changed and you need new tools to rein it in to be able to work with this new body to do what you want it to do.
I'm taking notes because we want to know what those tools are. So we'll hold off on that. Woo, honey, you scaring me now.
Oh,
so
man.
we're going to come back. I know
Okay,
you're
so
gonna fix
that's that's technically myth, because we only said 7
it.
years.
That's right. That's technically myth.
That's right. That's
That
right.
was
That's
myth.
a myth.
That was a
That's
myth. That was
It'd be
myth.
longer than that.
All right. Number 3.
Uh-huh.
Once menopause hits, your sex life is over.
Truth or myth?
That's a myth.
Okay, good.
Woo!
That's a
Praise the
myth.
Lord.
That's a myth.
All right.
Now,
Okay.
that's a myth with a caveat. We got to go back to that.
Okay,
Okay.
really?
All right, we're going to come back to that.
All right.
All right. Number 4. Menopause causes vaginal dryness. Period.
Truth,
True.
truth,
Ooh,
truth,
Lord.
Wow.
truth, truth.
That is
Silence on that one.
I know, and there was silence for the space of a half hour in heaven, right? Okay.
Exactly. Oh, we're gonna have to come back to all these. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Number 5. Once a woman starts menopause, she can't get pregnant.
Is that truth or
Myth or truth?
That is truth. That's menopause. Now, when we talk about perimenopause, that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
So then, that's the last question. Maybe we should start right now with perimenopause.
Yeah,
What
I really
is
don't know
that?
what that is because let me just ask you. When I hear perimenopause, I think premenopause.
Right.
Is that even a thing? Okay.
Yeah, so
right.
we used to use the term premenopause, and that was a term that I was introduced to in residency about 20 years ago. So that was a very long time ago. But now in our the term in our lexicon now is perimenopause, and that is where your hormones start changing and start dropping and may not go up to the level that they used to. So the set cyclical interval that you would have every 28, 30, 32 days gets interrupted. So certain hormones may not go as high as they used to. Some may not stay around as long as they used to. When I say stay around, stay as high as they used to, they may start dropping too soon, too fast. And that can happen 5, 7, 10, 15 years before you go into full-blown menopause. So this is where women have kind of gotten a bad rep. So this is where, oh, what's wrong with her? What's the problem? Well, she can't sleep like she used to because her progesterone's dropping. So she can't get to sleep and stay asleep. So she's tired when she gets up. Well, what's the problem with her weight gain? Because I don't know what, I'm not doing anything different. Now all of a sudden I got this spare tire around my waist. Well, all you need to do is exercise more and eat less. No, there's something else going on. You know, oh, now I can't remember things, or I can't read reports at work the way I used to, or I can't perform the way I used to at work. Maybe I'm coming late because I can't get that good night's sleep. So now you're showing up a little differently, and everybody's wondering what's wrong with you. You can't deal with all of the what do I call it? You really don't have any elasticity in your proverbial rubber band anymore to deal with life when it throws a monkey wrench in it for you. So now your moods are like swinging from here to here. And now it's like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you be nice there? Like, what is the problem? And she doesn't even know what's wrong with her.
Wow.
Because our hormones play a vital role in our neurochemistry, in our physiology. And so the end result is how you show up every day. And so these changes can happen for this long until you get to menopause. Now, the reason I said you can still get pregnant in perimenopause is because you are still having ovulatory cycles. They may not be consistent, but you still may have some. These are where these oops babies come, where you have these 15, 20-year gaps in the siblings.
And then the grandmama is like the grandmama raising the child.
Hello. But when you're in full-blown menopause is 12 consecutive months without a period. That's the definition. It's not hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal. It is 12 consecutive months without a period.
Wow.
And it's important because if you go 12 consecutive months, don't have a period, you're not on hormone therapy, you're not on birth control, anything, and you have a postmenopausal bleed, we need to make sure that there's no cancer in the uterus.
Wow.
That's important. That's
that
why.
is good to know. Wow.
Now, we're not saying that postmenopausal bleeding means you have cancer. No, we just have to rule that out.
Yes.
We want to make sure it's not that.
So let's talk about this. I literally had no idea. I had no clue. I mean, this is crazy that we don't know this as women, but we don't. So let's talk about the sexual health here. Let's talk about that because what is it that, we hear all the time that, you end up, oh no, when you go through menopause, that's it. Sex is done. Your sex life is over. Why is it why is that said? Let's talk about the vaginal dryness, or as my niece used to say when she was little, let's talk about the sagina. Why your sagina is dry. Let's talk about why the sagina gets dry.
I love it. I think the misconception that when you go into menopause, sex is over, because there's a lot of miscommunication. So when your estrogen starts dropping, your skin literally changes. Ooh. So your tactile sensation can change. So your partner's hand, touch, and it could even feel different. And if you're not having an open communication about that, then, well, what's wrong with you? I just wanted to snuggle up and cozy up. Well, it feels different. It does not feel good anymore. And so the other thing is we turn inward. Something's wrong with me. What's wrong with me? When you don't, and then, well, you're stimulating me, but I'm not responding the same way. So the liquids aren't flowing like they used to. So maybe it's something with me. You have some, what am I doing wrong? Wow. No, it literally is physiology. And so estrogen helps keep the vagina healthy.
Hmm.
And it helps it to have lubrication along with testosterone. They
Hmm.
both
Okay.
aid in lubrication.
Which was why when
So,
you got tested and your testosterone was 0, that was a problem. Obviously, men
oh,
automatically associate testosterone with men, and we don't think women have it. But we learned a couple weeks ago
absolutely.
women do have
Yes,
testosterone.
and
Absolutely.
just a note, the Natural E Man supplement actually has
Some kind of
testosterone
testosterone
support in
support or
there.
something like that.
And at first when I read that, I was like, oh, I can't take this.
Right.
And then Dr. Q was like, no, you got testosterone, right? I was like, I mean, I knew that, but I didn't, when
Right.
I think testosterone, I'm going to have a beard. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Exactly.
so
Exactly.
that's very
Exactly.
interesting that you need that
Yeah.
to keep this
Yes.
vagina nice and moist.
Exactly. Exactly. And it also helps your libido, of course.
Right.
It is part
Mm.
of that. It's one of the hormones that gives
Wow.
you that desire that,
Okay.
hey, oh yeah, okay, he's
Hmm.
looking good tonight.
Hmm.
Okay, yes. The babies are grown now. Everybody's gone out the house. Okay, wonderful. Yes. So having these changes that happen, having your core temperature even change because your
Mm.
estrogen has changed and your temperature center in your brain has gotten more narrow, and that also puts a whole different spin on things. So even cuddling doesn't feel good anymore because, oh my
Mm.
gosh, now I'm hot, now you hot, now I got to turn on the fan. What?
Yeah.
All of the things.
Listen,
All
Dr. Q actually just said in the comments that testosterone is like Viagra for women.
it can be. Yes, I
Mm.
will agree with Dr. Q. I will say yes, and because it
Okay.
has so many it has so many other jobs, is what I
Hmm.
say, so many other
Hmm.
jobs.
So as I hear
Yes.
you talking and the great information that I'm literally just soaking this all in
I want to make sure
because
our chimes have shared this, by the way.
yes, please share
This is
this,
one of those
guys.
episodes you have to share.
Yes.
There are many people in your life, and you're watching this right now, that do not know anything about this kind of stuff,
No,
and they
and
need
that's
to know.
actually going through it and wondering, as one of the comments was, what's wrong with me?
Right.
Like you
Exactly.
said,
Mhm,
Right.
asking what's wrong with
mhm.
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love this because that to me, the way that you just explained the relationship between men and women and how it works shows that we both need to know about the health and the changes that happen to both
Yes.
Yeah.
I,
parties.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's
You
important.
have to know so that you can understand each other when those times end up coming.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
and actually with all that you're saying, you're proving why I'm like, no, I ain't going through that. No, I am not going to be there. I am
Because
not
you don't
about to
want it.
have
You don't
that.
want to be.
No, I
Right.
Right.
don't.
Right.
But I
Right.
know that you have some good news. So I'm
Absolutely.
going to wait to ask you the good news. Because we have a couple of more questions that can add to this.
Sure.
And I didn't want to cut you off. I knew you were going to say something.
Only thing I wanted to know was, as a husband who
Hmm.
cares about his wife, I
Yes.
am constantly watching her. I'm around her. I'm observing
Mhm.
things, but
Mhm.
I'm not sure that it's always appropriate for me to mention that the
Mm.
way she's acting might be different, and that it could be because something's going on, chemistry wise. Like, how do you help husbands? What do we
Yeah,
say?
because
Like,
usually he's like, "Oh, you about to come on your period," and then I'm mad, and then
I
I'm
don't
like,
normally say
"Really?
that
Did you
because
really say
I
that?
know
I
you're not
know
supposed
you
to
didn't
say
really just say that." So, and he doesn't say you about to go through the change, but like my mom and my sister, we joke with each other like, "You about to be going through the change, whatever."
Hmm.
But we're joking, but we don't know. Now we know the perimenopause. It could be something like that, but
Hmm.
we haven't even thought about it
Hmm.
because we don't want to actually
Exactly.
think about that.
And I love your question, John, because my husband and I talk about this, and we've been having an open line of communication. I think that is key. It starts
Mm-hmm.
on what's the foundation of the relationship. How can you even communicate with your wife, or how do you communicate with your partner? Do you have the ability to say, hey, is everything okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just concerned. You're not your usual self, and so you want to talk about it. Is everything okay? What's going on? There was an article I read years ago that said women that actually have open communication with their partners have less intense symptoms of menopause.
No
Really?
way.
Yes, when they did a survey and they were able to break that down, they came up with this information that said what it was is that when a person is open with their partner and they're sharing what's going on, they get faster symptom relief, which
Hmm.
means I don't know if it's the partner is helping them find something or
Mm-hmm.
if they're giving their input.
Hmm.
What it's just this nice little ecosystem of, hey, I'm going to help you get better. And
Hmm.
so
Mm.
the intensity of the symptoms were not as much. So
Hmm.
I think
Wow.
it really does depend on how you communicate as a couple in the even before you get to the other PMS.
Right.
Right,
Right.
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
And that's just the term I coined because I was sitting around thinking a few years ago and I was like, we all know about premenstrual syndrome. But
Mm-hmm.
what about the other PMS, perimenopause, menopause survival? Like we
Wow.
don't talk about that.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm.
let's
Mm-mm.
start having that bigger conversation about that.
Yeah. So
That's really
so
good.
just a follow up. So
Yeah.
I would say that if you ask the casual husband if he's being honest, let's say his
Yeah.
wife is not in the room, because we're not going to be
Yeah.
honest about this if our wife's there. But if you were to corner me and give me truth serum and my wife's not around, and you ask me how I feel about the
Yeah.
prospect of menopause, I would I would probably share some form of trepidation. I would say
Hmm.
it makes me
Hmm.
nervous, or I'm not sure what it's going to do. I've heard so many horror stories about how it changes your wife into something totally different.
Hmm.
Our sort of caricature as men is, a woman that's always mad at me. She's always hot. You know what I'm saying? And she never wants me anymore. Like there's no
You're pulling
more.
out fans from your
Yeah,
purse.
right. She got fans all the time and stuff like that. So what would you say to a husband like me to calm me down and say, listen, it doesn't have to be that way? Or is this one of those things where it's like, okay, it is going to be like that, and I better just, grin and bear it? Or is there something that she can do about it to make it so that it's not as bad? or that I can do? You know what I'm saying? There's something we can do. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to
I
say?
love all the questions within this
It
question.
is
And,
so
and
it
let
is
me
All
so
the
tell
important.
you, let me
questions.
tell you, the thing is, we saw two people in our family go through
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
bad menopausal
Mhm.
symptoms and things. So it has feared us both.
Yes. We're both
Yes,
like, oh
and that
Lord, this is gonna be terrible.
exactly. And that's because our mothers and our grandmothers did not have what we have now.
Mm.
So, one, it was a secret. It
Okay.
was,
Yeah.
she's going through
Okay.
a
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember being younger when my grandmother would be standing at the kitchen sink in her house and all of a sudden start having a sweat.
Yep.
And it was this, okay, so what's happening kind of thing. And
Yeah.
and as a young girl, you were just like, okay, what is it? Is it something that you catch? Is it,
Mm.
what? So there were no big conversations about it. And like you said, what has happened is that a lot of the symptoms that women have, such as anxiety, depression, feeling
Mm.
as if they're literally going crazy, is what
Mm.
some people will say, is that they really partly have not been taken seriously in the
Oh.
Wow.
medical world and are told, you're just going through change, you're just getting old, it's almost like just white knuckle it, you'll get through it.
Wow.
Now we have tools, we have supplements, we have the ability to say, hey, it's not just grin and bear it. It is, hey, let's make sure your adrenals are taken care of, let's make sure your
Mm.
thyroid's taken care of. Doing things like what you're doing, April, making sure that your body is fit and healthy, making sure the
Mm-hmm.
fuel you're putting in is good fuel. You have great supplements like natural E-Man, that you're doing these things so that when you can glide into perimenopause and menopause
Mm.
and not slam into it. And then
Yeah.
Ah.
the
Yeah.
other thing is that the Women's Health Initiative, which was this big study that had a hormone arm to it, really was a detriment to women's health in the fact that when the information came out and said, hormones are bad, hormones are bad, hormones are
Yeah. Yeah.
bad,
Yeah.
the follow up to that conversation never happened,
Mm.
because it's not that hormones are bad, it's what is the type of hormones they used. We don't
Okay.
Mm.
use those anymore. And
Okay.
they need to be part of the toolkit and
Wow.
conversation for a woman now.
Listen.
you would actually recommend in some cases that women take hormones to help balance things, and you wouldn't have a problem with that at this point.
Absolutely. Confessions of a perimenopausal doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I told you my testosterone was not measurable, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have been taking my testosterone cream faithfully for 7 years
Wow.
now.
Okay.
Wow.
And so you're gliding now. You didn't slam. You gliding.
So seriously,
And
because
oh, go ahead.
we've had family members who tried the natural route. Now I'm not saying
Yes.
that that's not something you can do, but it wasn't working. And it was like, well, I have to do this because I need some of that too bad. I have to do this because, you know, we
It's
don't need to
dry.
be
It's dry.
taking
It's dry
no,
down
no,
here
no.
for some
We
reason.
don't need to be taking all them hormones
Yeah.
is what
Exactly.
some family members call it. We don't need to be
Yeah,
taking all them hormones.
Hmm.
And so, you know, so please, that to me, I guess that would be a myth.
Yes.
yes,
Please tell us how, what you feel like is best for women when it comes to give us those tools that you know
absolutely.
are healthy for us.
Absolutely. So, one of the things is I feel that I have a special connection with the WHI study because the Women's Health Initiative is what it was called. It had three arms to it. It had a hormone arm, a lifestyle arm, and a supplement arm. And what they were trying to do was trying to look and see how they could mitigate morbidity and mortality in women with the three big things that women die from or have complications from. That's cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, and breast cancer.
Wow.
Mm.
So, number one is cardiovascular disease. Number two is osteoporosis. Number three is breast cancer. And what they did was they said, hey, if we give you back these hormones, these should help. Well, they used hormones, one from a horse. It was
Oh.
conjugated equine estrogen, and they used synthetic
Wow.
progesterone, progestins.
Mm.
Oh.
We have no business with that in our bodies.
Okay.
Okay. That's just my opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't come for me in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was when this study came out in July of 2002, everybody ran and yanked their patients off of the hormones because they did have some bad outcomes. There were increased risk
Mm.
of pulmonary embolism and DVTs. And there was an apparent increase in breast cancer, but that has since been debunked.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what we do use now are bioidentical hormones. What
Hmm.
that means is it's hormones made from an organic source, mainly like yam is one of the big ingredients, and
Okay.
it looks just like what your body makes. It looks just
Mm.
like a biological hormone. So if you were to look at the chemical structure of it, it is exactly the same. That is
Okay.
Okay.
important because your body knows what to do with this chemical
Ah,
structure.
got it.
It knows how to break this down. It knows what to do with the metabolites. Metabolites, I call them the little children. It knows where to put them. It knows how to shunt them through the liver. It knows how to kick them over to the kidney, get them out into your poop. It knows how to get it out of your body, use what it needs, get rid of the rest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So here's where I say if you are at a place where you're like, I need more information because I believe informed refusal is just as important as informed consent,
Mm-hmm.
get
Mm.
the information you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be well informed. And if you are saying, okay, my symptoms are debilitating, they are interrupting my life, and you want to slide in, you want to kind of wade in slow, see what is available. There are some great supplements out there, and I think they help when you have the ability for your body to respond to them, that which means your stress is not high,
Okay.
you're not
Mm.
running yourself in the ground, you're fueling yourself appropriately. Those are some very big criteria. And if those things need some more support, then there's another layer to this. There's another level, which can be your bioidentical hormones. Are they for everybody? No. Does everybody have to take them?
No.
No. It is a
Mm-hmm.
tool. It is a tool.
So somebody's asking,
I was going to ask your thoughts on wild yams cream.
Got it. So wild yam cream is utilized a lot for progesterone.
Okay.
Now,
To
what
basically help your body to make your own.
right, right,
Okay.
right. To either help your body make your own, or they use wild yam root to make progesterone cream.
Oh.
And if you're getting it over the counter, then the dose that you're getting it at is a low dose that's not necessary for you to get a prescription.
Mm.
So you can try that, and it may be that you do need a bigger dose, so you need the prescription strength.
Got
So
it.
I do utilize a compounding pharmacy is where I like to use, because they can really customize the dosing for my patients. And so I'm able to really dial in what they need.
Somebody
That's
else
good.
said, this is Reality Sisters, how can I get that testosterone test? My doctor will not order a hormone test until I'm postmenopausal for 5 years.
What?
Now, someone said you can go to your gynecologist or get a new doctor or something like that, but is that weird that the doctor won't order a hormone test until she's postmenopausal for 5 years?
That's not even right, man. I mean, see how they do women?
Well,
See how they do us?
maybe you don't want to cause any malpractice or nothing, so you can't talk about your fellow
But
doctors.
How
let us.
about you come?
But
How about you come see me and do
I
a
was about
virtual?
to
There you
say,
go.
let's talk about her consultation that people can
Yeah.
actually sign up for, or um, they can go
Yeah.
to
Talkhormones.com.
www.talkhormones.com, and you can set up a consultation with Dr. LaKeisha, the Menopause Whisperer.
Exactly.
Which I may need to do that because I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm good. Like, I don't feel like but
I feel like you're good too. I agree.
however, I think getting a jump start, a head start,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the thing that we don't do. And then we're all crazy in it, and we're like, what's wrong with me? And it's like, you've already gone through, you could have actually prevented some of those things maybe with some type of consultation that says, hey, start doing this. These are the types of exercises that will help, or whatever, because I'm sure there are some natural things that can help. And can you tell us
Exactly.
that? What are some natural things that we can do
Absolutely.
maybe during the,
Perimenopausal
not
time.
even perimenopause, before that?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna back up just a little bit and say hormones can start dropping as early as late 30s, early 40s. So
Okay.
you getting a jump on that is really important. And it's not that you're saying something's wrong. You just kind of want to. We don't do baselines basically for women or men, right? We just, okay, we're going to look at your serum levels. That's where you go get your blood drawn. Okay, you're in the range. That's great. But I take it a step further and I do some other advanced testing where I will look and see how you're metabolizing your hormones, and even look at your gut microbiome to make sure that your gut is healthy enough to get everything through, as well as your thyroid. Because thyroid, adrenals, sex hormones, and your gut, they all have to play nicely together in the sandbox for you to feel good.
Now, Doc,
Nobody.
let me pause you for a second. If I go to talkhormones.com, I can get, not me, but if I was, a woman, I would call,
Why don't you just say April could get?
or April could get, this could be a virtual consultation, so I don't have to be there physically or anything like that.
Right. No, it's virtual.
And some of these tests that you're talking about right now, are some of the things that you would try to engage me with if I were to do that with you? Okay.
Absolutely. So I do have different tests that I will recommend. I'll say, okay, listening to your story, this is what I'm recommending that we do and how we work together.
So let's talk
Absolutely.
about the sex hormone. What is that?
So the sex hormones are considered estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Those are your sex hormones.
Okay.
Your adrenals can make your stress hormones. This is your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system. This is where you need the seesaw, because it's your fight or flight. It's the one that saves you, make sure that you're safe. It also is your rest, digest, reset system. So you have to make sure you're in a nice balance with the adrenals. And then when it comes to thyroid health, they're thyroid hormones. We're just one big bag of hormones, really.
Right.
I mean, that's what we are.
And it's got to be
Right.
balanced like it's supposed to be in order for us to be running at our optimal level.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
Yes, yes.
another question I have, and I again, this is our show. We can go as long as we want. Anyway, but we do have to consider you wanting to probably get to bed on time.
That's true.
So, no, I just have so many questions. Maybe I do need to sign up for this consultation,
Yes, you
honey.
do. You're talking about maybe. You
Yes, I
definitely
need
do.
that consultation.
Hold on,
So,
hold on. Hold your question and let's ask this question that,
Okay.
that Q put on
All
here.
right.
So Ask Dr. Q said, what are some of the changes that happen in the sagina, he said, that makes intercourse painful outside of dryness? So I guess dryness would be one of those things. But is there anything else
oh,
that
does
might
that happen?
does that happen
Can that
in
be? Can it become
the
painful
menopause
during?
type situation?
Yes. Oh, that's such a
What?
great question, Dr. Q. Thanks for the layup. Thanks for the setup. I'll
I
take it,
did not
take it to
know
the
No,
basket,
I'll
that.
leave
right?
it. Yeah.
So
This is getting
when you
scarier.
think when you think of the young vagina, the healthy vagina, estrogen and testosterone too, I say the vagina has hills and valleys. Okay. So when I look at it, when I'm doing a speculum exam, it's very pink and it has lots of hills and valleys. We call it rugae. Okay.
Mm.
As you get older, those hills and valleys go away. It's like an ice skating rink. So it's
What?
like that. But it feels like parchment paper and it's dry, and
Wow.
when
Oh my
estrogen goes
goodness.
away, skin gets very thin. Do you all remember those older
Mm.
women that we in our church, you go to hug them and you could like see their
Mm-hmm.
veins through their
Yes.
hand and you're like,
Yeah.
am I gonna tear their skin?
Right.
That's what was
That's what's
happening.
happening down there.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow.
So you have friction, you have all, and so you can literally get tears in the vagina.
Are
And
you
so it does
kidding me?
not feel comfortable. It's not
Wow.
an enjoyable process. You can
Mm.
even have the clitoris can even have atrophy of the
Ooh.
clitoris. And so that can be another problem too.
And I would assume that muscle atrophy, when it happens in space, it's because it's not being used very often. So if we use the clitoris more often, then it should help with the atrophy.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
we just solved that one.
I'll second that one.
We
I will
just solved
second
that
that
one.
one. I'll second that
So,
one.
so are there things that now, and you're saying that if you um, use the supplements or things that help to regain those hormones or to help them to stay healthy and
Hmm.
strong or whatever, that could prevent that from happening,
Or you
or you
just
could gain it
It cannot
back,
be
you know.
as it will decrease the intensity of the symptoms that you
I
experience.
see.
okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Because as we get older, our body is going to continue to drop and not make those. Because, I
Of
mean,
course.
we're not reproducing. Really,
Right.
that's what the women's body is trying to do every month, just trying to get pregnant. It's producing an egg, it's recruiting the eggs to try and get one to get fertilized. And so
Mm-hmm.
I tell patients think of estrogen as the hormone that makes the grass grow tall. That's the
Mm.
uterine lining starting to get nice and thick. Progesterone comes and mows the lawn. So progesterone
Mm.
hangs around and it says, hey, was there an egg fertilized mid cycle? Egg popped out. No egg was fertilized. Okay, guys, we're going to mow the lawn, but we got to wait 2 weeks to do it. So we're going to hang around for 2 weeks, then we're going to mow the lawn. If progesterone does not hang around for that 2 week period, that's when you get those PMS symptoms because you have unopposed estrogen. So that's when the breasts get tender. That's when you can't go to sleep and get that good sleep. That's
Wow.
because
Wow.
progesterone has dropped too fast, too soon.
Wow.
So that's what the body's just trying to do every single month.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, all these other hormones have other jobs. Progesterone helps to start the sleep cycle. Estrogen also
Mm.
helps with making sure your mood stays nice and comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Testosterone helps with that ability to stay focused and memory.
Mm.
So you see now when your hormones are dropping,
That's why the
why you
memory
have
gets
these
bad and stuff like that.
symptoms
Okay.
that start
Wow.
presenting.
I mean,
Wow.
I'm
First
really
of all, that
shocked.
mow the lawn analogy was
No, that
amazing.
was
I mean,
great.
if you want a man to understand the thing, you know what I'm saying, that's the perfect analogy.
No, this is shocking to me because I literally had no clue about these things.
Right.
And that's actually sad that, and I feel like I'm one that likes to read about stuff like this
Right.
or,
Right.
about
Yeah.
women's health. And
Yeah.
there's several things that you mentioned that I've never heard before. So
but
this
April, you
is.
don't have to even feel bad. I don't want women to feel bad because we have not been educated. We have not had these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
They have been in secret, and women have been suffering in silence for a
Mm.
very long time.
Wow.
And a lot of times, and like you said, you can look back and even be like, huh, that family member, oh, that's what that probably
Yes.
was. Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
Like I said, now, even myself, it's not even just having the conversation with my husband, but also with our kids.
Mm.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I cannot concentrate and do all the things anymore. Like, no,
Right.
you have to come to me and you actually have to say, can I talk to you right now?
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Because if you come in and there's something else and there's all this other stuff going on and my ADHD, oh, we're in a bad spot. We're in a
I think
bad
that's
place.
what my sister keeps saying. I need to call my sister after this.
Yeah, she's
It
going
is
through
not
it.
a good
She
look.
definitely
It
needs
is not a good look. So just even having that conversation is one of those things that can help you glide into this time of life. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
that you've missed some information that you didn't know. We are now, and I just had a conversation with somebody else earlier today. I was recording, and she said, I believe it's our generation to actually create the narrative, to actually
Mm.
start the conversations,
Yes.
to actually champion the changes, the
Mm-hmm.
policy changes, the changes in healthcare and medicine. This is why we're here now, because yeah, we're going through it and we're like, whoa, whoa, where's the service counter? I
Mm-hmm.
need a manager because this is not fun
Right.
and something needs to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're raising
So
awareness.
and I when kids are going through puberty, I always say, oh, it's those hormones that they're, you know,
Hmm.
is that, I mean, it's basically kind of
Is it the
on the other
reverse, maybe?
end. And I'm wondering,
Yeah,
would you, I mean, would we have some of those symptoms acne again? And, is that possible?
you can. You absolutely can.
Wow.
Because if your body starts trying to make up for things that it's losing and it starts generating and making some of the other hormones that really were not at a higher level before. So
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
you this is where women start saying, wait, I'm starting to have chin hair and this hair, like where's that coming from? And they're
Mm.
like, whoa, what is all this? And
Mm.
it's part of your body going, I'm trying. I thought this is what you needed.
All right.
Wow.
Wow. That's
So
bananas.
informative. This has
Amazing.
been
Absolutely amazing.
awesome. I know we could talk more.
There's no question. But
And, 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 and
I
I
want people
think
to know
that,
about your book,
but
though.
I do want to say, don't move from this, because I really think that a lot of women need to go to talkhormones.com
I agree.
and sign up,
Yeah.
because you at least need to have a conversation.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Even if, because like me, I'm like, nah, I haven't started. However, I may be and don't even know it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I may be able to you know, put some things in place so
Right.
that like you said, I can be easing through rather than all of a sudden you're
Slamming into that
shocked.
joint.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I
yes,
think
yes.
that, ladies, you need to go ahead and go to talkhormones.com. I can't even say it.
Talk hormones.
Talkhormones.com and get a
And get your
consultation.
consultation
Get
with
your
Dr. LaKeisha.
consultation. Yes, definitely.
So I want to ask about your book. You have a book. It's called The Other PMS. I've got it on the screen right now. If people want to purchase this, they can go to theotherpms.com. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
And this
And
is
Yes.
top seller, guys.
tell
So I
tell me about that.
definitely.
You said it was a number one seller.
Yes, it's an Amazon bestseller, and it was in the category of women's health and
Nice.
wellness when it came out in 2020. I believe we celebrated its fourth year birthday this past April.
That's amazing.
That
And
is great.
I the way I wrote the book, thank you so much. The way I wrote it, it was as if you're sitting on the couch talking to your girlfriend who just happens to be a doctor. And I'm
Love
like, hey,
that.
I got some secrets for you. You want to know what they are?
Yeah.
Come here. I can share them with you.
So can people go to Amazon to buy this too?
They can. But if you just go to theotherpms.com
Hmm.
and click on the single purchase, the single copy, it takes you over to
It's
Amazon.
where it
Okay.
goes
It was just
anyway. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
But I could
But
also
if
buy
you're purchasing
multiples.
for, yeah, if you're
Right.
purchasing for your conference, your
Right.
women's
Right.
ministry,
Right.
your,
Right.
you can purchase a bulk purchase there too.
That's awesome.
That is great.
Oh,
I
that is
am
amazing.
just so glad that you know, came on the show and told us all these wonderful things. I think that this is going to help people to, you know, find out more and want to know more. And I think that's important, especially, I think, for both parties, husbands and
Yeah.
I
wives,
agree.
men and women, knowing this is good because I think more empathy can come into play as well.
So that
When you
that
know, you can be a little bit more empathetic. I think I need to be a little bit more empathetic to some people
that's
now
true.
that I know about this. Seriously.
But
Like, you know?
I am actually feeling that's the first feeling that I would say came to mind as I listened to you talk, Doc, is that um, there's a lot of stuff going on physiologically inside
Hmm.
of my mother, my mother-in-law, and my wife.
Hmm.
and
He gonna call me
I
out.
need to be very understanding about that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
And you know, I don't want to honestly, and I think a lot of women are feeling this because I have friends. We all talk about it. I don't want to feel like I'm trying to hide that this is on its way.
Right.
And I think we are embarrassed by it some or ashamed, you know, about it. And I think
yeah.
we need to not be
Well, I think
because
this
it's a part of
conversation,
life.
what
You
you're
know, I
doing is
mean,
you're normalizing it, and that's
yeah.
great.
Exactly,
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And that's what we want to do. We want
that's
to
what we need.
normalize it.
Right.
Yeah.
We want to, there's a group of women I'm a part of that they do this work. And one of them says, you know, this is a playful time of life. They're like, this is to be, this is where you can even go back to that kid and kind of laugh at the hot flashes or laugh at the
Mhm.
men. I have a guest that came on my show, and she's actually in television, and so she was saying when she's on set and she forgets her lines, and she was like,
Mm.
"I just now go pause for the meno, just pause."
Oh,
Like, hold on.
pause for the minute.
Because she's
Oh my
like, you
goodness.
know, they're looking at you, you trying to, and you forgot your line again, or you know, and she's like, hold on, it's coming.
It's coming.
Just
Just give me a second.
Just give me a second.
right. Just give me a second.
So I need you to know,
And
Doc,
so,
people are excited about your book. They're saying, I got to get this.
awesome.
Some people are saying great information. They're talking about the show.
Yeah.
One asked, is there an audio version?
It's coming.
Okay, that's
Ooh,
coming. And then somebody else
yes.
asked, is there an ebook version?
There is an ebook version
Okay,
that is
okay.
already out there.
And then
Yes.
Okay.
someone else says, we all need the book version, though. That's what Tony L says. And then Dr. Q says Dr. LaKeisha is the GOAT, great ambassador and advocate for
Oh,
women's hormone health.
thank you, Dr.
Yes.
Q. And you are the exact for the men's health. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this has been absolutely awesome. Thank
Yes.
you.
So we want to end with our alphabet advice. Okay. So, alphabet advice, we want you to give us one word um, that can, I don't know, encourage or motivate or just, you know, some positivity to women and men.
Yeah, I can help
Look,
men too.
you can help men
Yeah.
too.
However you
That
decide.
begins, we're on the letter C now.
See.
Yes.
Okay. I'm actually probably going to be a little corny and say courageous,
Okay.
because you have to be courageous to have these conversations.
Mm.
And I am challenging everyone that is here present tonight in real time or catching on the replay. Start the courageous conversation. Say, I don't feel like myself. I'm not sure what's going on. Or I'm having, you know, these are the symptoms that are coming up. Or, you know, the other partner saying, hey, is everything okay?
Mm.
Just have the courageous conversation.
That's awesome. That's not
That
corny at
is,
all.
Not at all.
That's a good piece
Love
of advice.
it. Love it.
I absolutely love it.
Thank you so much.
Man,
This has been really good.
this was really, really
Really,
enriching.
really good.
I have learned so much, and it was fun talking about and making fun of this menopause situation. You know what I'm saying?
Making
I
fun of it.
hope I didn't make light of it.
You
know what I'm
gotta
saying?
laugh through it.
You
all.
do.
You have to.
So thank you very much. And maybe we'll have you on again sometime soon. I don't know if you'll be
Yes.
available, but you know what I'm saying?
I told
Yeah.
you I will talk about this till the cows come home, as
You,
they
you,
say.
you can be our our resident women's sexual health expert. You know what I'm saying? Whenever
Exactly.
we need to talk to somebody about something like that, that'd
Yes,
be
we
great.
would love that.
I will. I'll take that. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you again. We'll
Thank
see you next time.
Yes. Bye bye. We appreciate it. Wow, guys.
That was literally awesome.
Wow.
So first of all, I will say that I didn't know probably 90% of what we talked about today.
And I same.
I feel like most of the time we do something and we know a little bit about the subject.
I
you know what I'm saying? I thought I knew
really-
something about this.
I really am feeling like, whoa.
I got none of the myth buster questions right. Like I was like, you know what I'm saying? when she said 7 years ain't enough, it might be like, you know what I'm saying? Or a third of your life.
It's gonna be like 7 or 8 years could be the
that's the max.
Because I mean, like I said, we have family members. It's like, when is it gonna end for them? Like, dog, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am just. But honestly, this actually gave me hope.
Me too.
It did, because
Yeah.
at first, hearing all, it's like, oh my goodness, but it actually gave me hope because. When you hear it is normal. This
Yeah.
is what happens.
Right.
This is what women go through.
And
there
it
are
sounds to
things
me
that
like-
can help.
Sounds to me like if you're courageous enough to talk about it, it's going to make a difference.
And to go to your doctor and ask about these
didn't she say
things.
there were survey results that said that people said that when they were able to be honest and open with their partner about
it
that,
helped.
that the symptoms were not as bad and stuff
it
like
helped.
that? That makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it's because when you are open and honest, the empathy, the support is there to help you get through that. If you're getting through, if you got menopause going on and you in a bad relationship because you don't communicate, woo, honey,
That's gotta be
that's
horrible.
a double, triple whammy. Okay, because that's a lot already by itself.
So, by the
But-
way, there's no Team John or Team April tonight. I mean, we can put this up, but
Listen, listen.
that's look at.
Your green screen.
Exactly.
Hey, things happen. You should just leave it.
The point is, the bottom line is that
It should be
it's
Team
about
April, by the way.
It ain't no Team April.
It's got to be Team April.
It's Team Menopause Whisperer.
No, it should be. Well, yes. Menopause
Why is it Team
Whisperer.
April?
It's Team April because I got to go through that at some point. You know what I'm saying?
So would they feel sorry for you? That's what it is?
Yes.
Okay, Tony L says, I'm surprised that so much of the things I'm experiencing I never would have associated with any part of menopause.
Wow.
Give it to ADHD
Yep.
and etc. I gotta put everything on a Venn diagram. Wow.
You know what? I meant to ask the Menopause Whisperer, Dr. LaKeisha. I meant to ask how early could the perimenopause? I think she did say 30s though.
I think she said something like that.
she said
Yes.
early 30s.
Yes, I think she did.
Okay.
Or at least maybe she said late
No, she
30s,
said
early 40s.
something like that. Late 30s.
Okay.
Late 30s,
Late
early
30s.
40s.
Okay, good. There we go.
Yeah.
Ginger said she just got the Kindle version.
Oh.
Nice.
Nice. Hey, Wanda. Wanda,
I-
you didn't miss it, honey. You can go back and watch.
Oh, yeah.
You got
You
to go
can
back and
rewind.
watch
You
Wanda.
got to watch this one.
have to go back and watch.
Yeah.
Because
this is one of our original
is
chimes,
for
Wanda.
us, honey.
She's talking about she missed it,
have
but
to
she don't have
watch
to worry
it.
about
You got to
that.
go back. So good. So good.
I wonder if the doctor will be reading it herself. She wrote it.
She wrote it.
I mean, you know,
Yeah,
she
she
might
wrote
read
that,
it.
Oh, you're saying as a
I don't know, but Ginger says thank Doc for your passion, much needed.
Yes.
Yeah, give her some love in the chat, y'all, and thank you for joining tonight. I hope this was helpful. It was helpful
Yes.
to us.
Put
interesting
thumbs
to
up,
us.
hearts.
Yes.
Claps, whatever.
That's right. All of that in the
All of that
chat so
in
that
the
she can
chat.
see it. You know what
So
I'm saying?
it is definitely Team Menopause Whisperer, Dr. LaKeisha, because she gave some truths tonight
That's right.
that
Yeah.
I think woke some people. It woke me up.
Oh yeah.
It really did. It woke me
Yeah.
up. Maybe that's why I literally cannot remember anything ever. And I'm like, thing. That's what I call everything. Everything is thing. I'll be like, yeah, thing. I call people thing.
Look at all this.
All of that.
Camille talking about Team April. Come on, man. And then
Thank you, Camille.
And then menopause. It's April. Chevy says, great show. Thanks, John and April. You are very welcome. Jasmine says, yes, great information.
Yes, it
Tony
was.
says, if the doc will be reading the audiobook.
I hope so, because her voice
she's
is
saying,
beautiful.
is she going to be the person reading the
That
audiobook?
would be
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, that would be
she
awesome.
has a nice voice
That's
for
true.
that. Definitely.
Yeah, read by the author. That's
Yes,
a
that
good
would.
idea. Okay, I misunderstood you, Tony. My bad. Okay.
I'm feeling good
next
about it. I'm
week.
gonna be like, yeah, I'm about to be in my menopause time, y'all. I'm about to say
Hey,
it like.
Wanda says,
with
yeah, I
confidence.
will because I'm there. Yeah, go back.
Yes.
Watch it. I'm telling you
Watch
right now.
it.
You are going to be enlightened. All right, y'all.
All right, guys.
See y'all next week. Love y'all.
Peace.